Hello, ladies and gentlemen, people watching on YouTube, and welcome to the final event of Daytona Speedweek, also race number 1 of Season 9 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Daytona 500 here at Daytona International Speedway, as we're getting set for 40 laps of the Great American Race. As we are getting set for this, little reminder of a couple of things going forward this season. So for those who haven't been caught up on what's been going on as far as the new qualifying format, basically starting now, every single race this season is going to be knockout qualifying. So how that's going to work is starting in the next race coming on Monday, that at the beginning of every race video, you're going to see the results of qualifying. Whoever's bottom 5 of both the qualifying sessions will not be able to race. Whoever makes top 20 on those qualifying times will be in the actual race itself. So that way you stay up to date with everything, and it adds a little element of unpredictability to the season championship. And with that being said, one last thing, and that is that this will be the final season of both Johnny Gardner and Rob Evans, as they will be retiring after this season and moving on to other things. So consider this their farewell season going forward. So we'll see how all that plays out. So those are a couple of extra things to keep up with. But let's get to the actual race itself. So you guys all know the starting lineup, but just for quick reference as to who's starting in the last row, it's Jonathan Zorlane and Jesse Turner. So they're going to have a lot of work ahead of them. Top 10 in the starting lineup, Stephen Colon got the pole for winning duel number 1 back on Wednesday. Starting next to him is the winner of duel number 2, Michael Norman. Row 2, Jessica Shelton, Jay Jefferson. Row 3, Joey Parkhill, Trey Wright. Row 4, Johnny Gardner, Charles Sanford. And then row 5, Dylan Poteet and Melissa Alexander. Let's get the command to fire engines for the Daytona 500, folks.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 40 drivers rolling around the racetrack for the pace lap here. So, yeah, quite a few big-name drivers did not end up making this race. The biggest of them all being Dylan Young, which was quite a shocker. But then again, what happened was during duel number 1, for those who didn't see it, he ended up getting caught up in the big one at the beginning of duel number 1, and it took him out. It also took out Alyssa Drayson, also Daniel Bouchard, James Qualls being another big name that's not in this race, but they'll have the opportunity to try again next week, as we're actually kind of winging the schedule this season a little bit, so I got no clue where we're going for race number 2. You'll just have to wait until Monday to find out. But of course, with the Daytona 500, it is very unpredictable as to who can win this race, because you could come from dead last and get up to the lead within about 3 or 4 laps, if with the right momentum and the right drafting partners. And also the speed, which is the most important thing. But of course, when you're in a high-level pack, you're guaranteed to go over 200 miles an hour, to say the very least. But we're getting ready to come off of turn number 4 for the final time of this pace lap, and the pace car should be pulling into pit road at any moment, and we will be able to get this race underway. Pace car pulling into pit road. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in Season 9 officially, boogity, 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 let's go racing. close at the line, but it was Jessica Shelton who led the first lap by going to the outside line. But meanwhile, Johnny Gardner now trying to take the lead. Speaking of Johnny Gardner, as I said in the intro, he and Rob Evans will be retiring from this series after this season and move on to other series or to do other things. So they're definitely looking, while Rob Evans didn't make the race, Gardner did, they are looking to go for some big-time victories before the end of their Marvel Studios Cup Series careers. As meanwhile, now Adam Garcia, the rookie out of Robert Yates Racing in that Red Bull number 28 Ford, currently leading the way as the field's really shuffling up, although they are 3 wide, many rows deep, starting up here at the front, as now teammates were side by side 3 wide, Ryan Acosta in the 10 with Quentin Moore in the 27, as they were working together for a bit, as now Ryan Acosta takes the lead for the time being. And now Matt McIntyre trying to use the middle line, but wow, look at the run the outside line gets on the backstretch. Acosta was able to keep the lead for a moment, but now teammate Quentin Moore getting the race lead, and it sucks that their owner, their boss, James Qualls, couldn't make the race as he was wrecked out in duel number 1, but hopefully for Qualls, he's feeling good about his teammates, his proteges, doing strong so far here in the early going. Looking around the back of the field, and I see Keith Miller Jr. and Cody Lamas straggling in the back a little bit, but I think Lamas still within the pack. Keith's still a couple miles per hour off, so maybe he'll be able to blend back in, or he might end up losing the draft. But back up at the front, and just like I said, yeah, Jesse Turner started dead last. He and Jonathan Zorline were in the last row, already within 3 to 4 laps, up here in the top 5. And yeah, it looks like Keith Miller Jr. is going to lose the pack, so he's going to have to hope for a caution to come out, as meanwhile Chris Dollarton hangs on to the race lead for now, as we've had I think we've had a different leader every single lap, so we're seeing some really good racing going on all throughout the field. Right now in second is the 91 of Charles Belding, or should I say Jacob Belding, as well, Charles Belding this season at least. He'll be going to Jacob Belding next season, because he will be back in that 91 car in Season 10, which promises to be an excellent one, but we are just getting into Season 9, so let's not think too far ahead. But Charles Belding hanging on strong in third, 3 wide for second, 3 wide for third between Aaron Macklin, Jonathan Zorline, and Caleb Kilburn, and now Cody Lamas is losing the draft. Not the best start today for these two. Keith Miller Jr. losing the draft, now Cody Lamas losing the draft. But all other 38 drivers running 3 wide for many, many rows. It's hard to tell where everybody is right now. But Chris Dollarton hanging on to the lead, so it looks like he might be the first driver this race to lead multiple laps. Oh man, are they going to attempt 4 wide back there? Okay, no they're not. They're settling it out. But look at this. Shadow Colt Racing teammates and co-owners Scott Groverston and former series champion Dylan Jacobs worked together for a bit and got Groverston to lead the lap. But now Dylan Jacobs says, hey, it's my turn to lead a lap now, buddy. And then we got teammates and brothers right behind Dylan Jacobs, Charles Sanford and Henry Sanford, the Sanford brothers, working together as they're trying to work their way to the lead. But yeah, this is a long race, 40 laps at a 2.5 mile track. It's going to take a while to get through this end. But it can go by pretty quick if there is no cautions, but with how Speed Week has been, we've had at least 1 caution in every event except for duel number 2. So I wouldn't hold my breath on that. Meanwhile, Jackson Traeger now takes the race lead over. Jackson Traeger in that number 88 Target Ford out of Robert Yates Racing, teammates with Arthur Xavier and Adam Garcia. And Jackson Traeger actually had a pretty decent Season 8 as a rookie. I'm not sure if he won a race or not, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I do know he had a decent season. I believe he was top 20 in points. Definitely looking to carry on that momentum here in Season 9. Trey Wright, who's a rookie out of McIntyre's Orlean Racing, looking to make an impact early on in his career. But now here comes Jay Jefferson in that 01 HEB Dodge out of Shadow Call Racing. Shadow Call Racing's 5 drivers. Jefferson in the 01, Jordan Forbes, who did not make the race in the 39, Riley Henry, who also didn't make the race in the 40, Dylan Jacobs in the 41, and Scott Groverston in the 42. And speaking of Jackson Traeger's teammates, here comes Arthur Xavier in that 38 Haas Automation Ford. As the lead is shuffling around every single lap, which is incredible to watch. At the line, Xavier led the lap, but now Michael Norman, who's a former Daytona 500 winner in this series, now finds himself getting up to the front. While Michael Norman leads, here comes William Brock in the 29, who's making his long-awaited return to the Marvel Studios Cup Series. It's been a couple of seasons since we've seen William Brock, and actually he will return to the 29 in Season 10, funny enough. A lot of drivers who are in this field in their cars will be back in those cars in Season 10. There will be some changes, of course, the big one being with Gardner and Evans retiring after this season. Meanwhile, Jessica Shelton, who definitely is looking to pull off something big, as she had a rather abysmal Season 8, finishing second to last in points and went winless. She's definitely looking to score big here today. But here comes Cole Deaver in the middle, but Ryan Acosta now to the inside to get up to the lead. And look who's coming behind the 10. The returning legend, Stuart Campbell, formerly known as Dorian Face Puncher. Stuart Campbell in the 62, Stu the announcer Ford. And wait a minute. Chris Dollarton and Quentin Moore coming in the pit road. Could this be pit strategy? I don't know. If it is, it might be a genius move, or it could really bite them in the rear end, because I wouldn't have expected pit stops to happen. Although I think there could be some damage to the 83, maybe some side-by-side contact with somebody, and now they've got it fixed. So must have been some contact with somebody out there on the track. It could have been the 27, although I'm not really sure. But back up at the front, Adam Garcia has the lead once again, but can he lead a lap is the question. And he will with ease. Meanwhile, look who's in the middle line trying to get to second, and that's Seth Cole, the defending series champion, who won in the closest points battle in the history of this series, beating out Cody Lamas by 1 point. That's right, it was a single solitary point that Lamas got the champion, or Lamas lost the championship by to Seth Cole. Seth Cole may be looking for 2 championships in a row, as right now he's looking good in the lead, but of course with how much of a crapshoot this race is, you never know what can happen. And meanwhile, the frontrunners, the pack's about to catch up to Keith Miller Jr. and Chris Dollarton, so Dollarton and Miller will eventually blend in with the pack, but it could cause a bit of a jam-up, as Carson Gum actually got the edge of that safer barrier off the tri-oval. But of course that's going to be a thing that's going to stay with this track, is that, and luckily it doesn't affect anything really at all, as you're going to see a couple cars scraping it, just like kissing the wall, but nothing too bad. Meanwhile, side-by-side for the lead between teammates, Daniel Voiles, rookie, had it. Now rookie Aaron Macklin is going to take the lead, as rookies are making their presence known up here towards the front of the field. And this could be a huge make-or-break moment for a rookie this season, to get for their first career win being in the biggest race of all, the Daytona 500. quite a few of the Average Joe Enterprise drivers up here towards the front. Aaron Macklin has the lead, or had the lead, and now Jesse Turner going to take the lead away. And Caleb Kilburn in the 99s up here, the 26 of Daniel Voiles. So I think, yeah, and I see him, Carson Gum in the number 60 Discord Ford. He's in the middle of the pack. But they're all running up here at the front. Jesse Turner getting a tandem push from Dylan Jacobs, almost like tandem drafting here at Daytona, which is kind of an unheard of concept, especially with this game. But regardless, that's how we're seeing it. And oh, Carson Gum coming in the pit road, as well as Joey Parkhill. Although Parkhill, I see, definitely had some contact. And same with Carson Gum, so maybe it's either pit strategy or to come in and repair damage from getting into the safer barrier a little bit. Because I wouldn't have expected them to come in the pit road during this race. Because pit frequency is set to 1x and it's only a 40-lap event. Apologies for the random freezing there. I don't know what was going on with that. But anyways, we are approaching the halfway point of this event, and now the leaders are approaching Cody Lamas and Quentin Moore. So they will eventually blend in with the pack. As Jesse Turner, I believe, becomes the first driver to lead multiple laps here today. As he has the lead and is going to easily go by Cody Lamas, but now he's going to get boxed in behind Quentin Moore in the 27. And there's Joey Parkhill, Carson Gum. Oh no, I have a bad feeling. Okay, it looks like we're not going to get another Dylan Young or Kevin LePage. Although, that was close, but Quentin Moore going to barely hang on to stay on the lead lap for now. And man, this pack is getting restless right now. Joey Parkhill trying to hold off to stay on the lead lap, but not going to work as Jesse Turner continues to lead. But now, here comes Zachary Fitzwater in the 12, who we haven't talked about all day. Up here at the front now, and here comes Charles Belding, who's getting pushed by Rafael Leduc in the 16. Quite a few drivers coming up through to the front that we haven't talked about yet. Rafael Leduc in the 16, who had a pretty good season in Season 9, or Season 8, getting top 10 in points. And then underneath of him is Melissa Alexander in that number 78 McDonald's Toyota out of Zev Bellringer Enterprises. Carson Gum eventually going to blend in with the pack, and Keith Miller Jr. actually somehow loses the pack again. I don't know if something went wrong with the 15 or what, but that 15 car is just not very fast on the racetrack. That, or he might have come in the pit road again. But either way, Keith Miller Jr. not having a very good Daytona 500. Meanwhile, Melissa Alexander now takes the race lead over, as now they approach the car of Carson Gum. Let's see who's going to make it through. Alright, it looks like Melissa Alexander is going to go by, put Carson a lap down for the time being. But Melissa now has Charles Sanford breathing down her neck, as Sanford is looking to try and get to the race lead for himself, and he's there to the inside and will lead the lap. But here comes Cole Deaver in the legendary number 3, the black number 3. How huge would it be for Cole Deaver to win the same race his idol Dale Earnhardt won back in 1998, the Daytona 500? That would be a great story, to say the very least. But next time by, it'll be halfway through the Daytona 500, so we still have a long, long way to go in this race. As Seth Cole, the defending champion, currently had the lead, and now Ryan Acosta back up to the front. And one other thing, I actually forgot to bring this up, that actually, first time ever in the history of not only this series, but in NR 2003 history on this channel, I will actually award a bonus point to the driver with the fastest lap in the race at the end. Currently, the fastest lap is Charles Sanford at a 45.027, which is insane. Then again, with it being in a draft pack, anything's possible. But that's currently who holds the fastest lap of the race right now. and could get that bonus point. Meanwhile, Scott Groverston with a huge head of steam takes the race lead away from Ryan Acosta, and right behind him, championship contender from Season 8, Patrick Smith, in that number 61 Can-Am Toyota out of Wings of Glory Motorsports. Huge run, leads the lap, but here comes Stephen Colon, the pole sitter, who has not gotten to lead a lap yet here today. But the lead continues to shuffle, despite we've had a couple of drivers lead multiple laps. It's still been anybody's race that hasn't gone to pit road today. In fact, let's see who's all in the bottom right now. 6 drivers are currently a lap down. Carson Gum, Chris Dollarton, Quentin Moore, Joey Parkhill, Cody Lamas, and Keith Miller Jr. But Carson Gum would be the lucky one to get points if things were to play out as they are right now. And Carson's in the pack, so he seems to be relatively alright. And I think, yeah, everybody's in the pack except for Keith Miller Jr. And even Cody Lamas, he's still at the tail end of the pack. He's trying to get caught back up. Excuse me. And yeah, he's still there, which is good. In fact, he's looking to go to the inside of Charles Belding. Can he make it work? No, he doesn't quite, but he's definitely now still officially in the pack. Meanwhile, Jackson Traeger led the last lap, but now Dylan Jacobs has the race lead. Oh, but 3 wide and Adam Garcia through the middle. It seems like when you're coming to the line, you'd want to be in the middle line in a 3 wide situation, as it seems to work out the best. Chris Dollarton not leading, in fact, a lap down. Same with Quentin Moore, but they're trying to get back on the lead lap. Joey Parkhill not too far behind, as he's trying to get back on the lead lap. Currently, the leader is between Caleb Kilburn and Trey Wright, as they are side by side, but Trey Wright going to have the advantage of being on the inside. Trey Wright in that number 33 Boy Scouts of America Ford out of McIntyre Zorleen, racing in the red, white, and blue car, which is pretty cool. And right now he's kind of using the lap cars of the lap car of Chris Dollarton and the tail end lead lap car Quentin Moore as a pick to kind of keep the spot for the time being. But look at Adam Garcia. He's trying to figure out how is he going to get around Trey Wright when there's lap traffic all around. Well, he follows Trey Wright, and now he's right behind him as they're putting Quentin Moore back to being a lap down, and now Keith Miller Jr. about to go 2 laps down now as a result. Side by side here at the line. Imagine if that was the finish, but Trey Wright barely leads with 15 laps to go here in the 500. But meanwhile, Adam Garcia trying to get the lead, but here comes Aaron Macklin in the number 6 car. We haven't really talked about Aaron Macklin much in this race, and he's been kind of a quiet contender. He's been like around the top 20 almost the entire race, and now up to the front. But now Adam Garcia looking to make a move to the inside, but doesn't quite have the speed to make it happen. Battle on for third as Jay Jefferson trying to go by the 14 of Matt McIntyre. Let me go to the 15 of Keith Miller Jr. and watch his speeds. Yeah, I would assume he was up to speed, but oh, there we go! We got a crash on the track. The big one is striking here at Daytona. Multiple cars involved. Trey Wright, who was leading. Multiple cars. Michael Norman was in it, it looked like. Melissa Alexander, I know, was involved. Joey Parkhill was in it. That's both 2 of the 3 Zev Bellringer Enterprise cars that are in this race now damaged. Jackson Traeger was in it, I believe. Quentin Moore, I believe he was right up where it started. And there's Jonathan Zorleen, who was involved. Dylan Poteet, I think, was in it. Melissa Alexander's got some big-time damage. Jesse Turner, I don't know if he was involved or if he was just in the back and he just got boxed in. As everybody's coming across the line, I don't know who's leading. Let's try and find him. It was Aaron Macklin leading, so... yeah, needless to say, the big one striking here at Daytona, though it wasn't a severe big one, like there was no hard hits or insane flips or anything like that. It was just a lot of cars getting collected in a crash. I don't know if any of them will retire. We might have one or two retire out of the race, but we'll find out in just a bit. But I do want to stay on here real quick to see if the leaders are going to come into pit road, considering during the first half of the race we saw 6 cars come into pit road, so I don't know if everybody's going to come into pit road this time or not. But we'll find out here in just a bit. But man, it's been a fantastic race thus far, and we still have a little bit to go, but it's going to get very exciting here soon, because I believe when we get back to green flag racing, it'll be under 10 laps to go. And it looks like some drivers are going to come into pit road, some are actually going to stay out. But Aaron Macklin, the leader, is coming into pit road. Meanwhile, it looks like about 5/8 of the field, 5/8 of the field is coming into pit road, while the other 3/8 are staying out on the track. So that would put Patrick Smith as the race leader now? I think it would. And we are now getting the list of drivers out of the race. We'll go through all of it officially here in just a bit, but I believe Patrick Smith would be the race leader, or it is Matt McIntyre. According to scoring, it's Matt McIntyre, but let's take a look and see what brought the caution out for the first time today here at Daytona. So it's all going to start at the exit of the trioval. Watch the 78 of Melissa Alexander. She's going to try and get in line behind Trey Wright, but just didn't have enough room to make it happen. Then they turned down into Quentin Moore, up into Arthur Xavier. We're going to stick to helicopter camera for the better angles. There's the contact from Dylan Poteet that ended up making things worse, as they're all going to collect in. Mitchell Collins with a big hit into the 78, and there's Joey Parkhill running into his wife. I believe William Brock gets a piece of it, Caleb Kilburn gets a piece of it, Stuart Campbell got a piece of it, same with Charles Sandford. Jonathan Zorleen gets up into the outside wall. Cody Lamas, it looks like he gets a piece of it. Jesse Turner did get involved, just slightly. Dylan Jacobs thread the needle and got through unscathed, which is incredible. Stephen Colon was in it. Austin LaPlante and Keith Miller actually all got by, so... yeah, really crazy set of circumstances to bring us to the point where we are now, as Matt McIntyre, according to scoring, is the race leader, but it might update, as let's take you to the restart here at the Daytona 500. Well, it looks like we'll be getting 9 laps to go when we go back to green flag racing, but 4 drivers officially out of the race after that big one, and they were Melissa Alexander, Trey Wright, Jonathan Zorleen, and Joey Parkhill, so they are guaranteed bottom 5 for this race. So, tough break for all 4 of them, as they will get no points, although if they got bonus points for leading lap or having the fastest lap, they will still get those points. But regardless, everybody except for about, I'm going to guess, 15 drivers came into pit road under caution, so we're definitely going to see an interesting final 9 laps. But Carson Gum and Patrick Smith are tail end of the lead lap. The leader is Matt McIntyre, second Jay Jefferson, third Alexander Rowe, fourth is Scott Groverston, fifth Austin LaPlante, sixth is Stephen Colon, even though he might be a tad off the pace. I don't know, we'll find out soon. Chris Dollarton in seventh, Adam Garcia eighth, ninth is Aaron Macklin, 10th is Zachary Fitzwater. 11th is Kyle Matthews, 12th Rafael LeDuc, 13th Seth Cole, 14th Jessica Shelton. 15th, Jesse Turner. 16th, Henry Sanford. 17th is Daniel Voiles. 18th, Cole Deverd. 19th, Johnny Gardner. 20th, Ryan Acosta. 21st, Dylan Jacobs. 22nd, Arthur Xavier. 23rd, William Brock. 24th, Charles Sanford. 25th, Mitchell Collins. 26th is Caleb Kilburn. 27th, Dylan Poteet. 28th, Stuart Campbell. 29th is Michael Normaff. Said 19th, I'm sorry. 30th, Jackson Traeger. And then the final three cars in line are Cody Lamas, Keith Miller Jr., and Quentin Moore, and Charles Belding, as I think he was on pit road trying to get caught back up. Anyways, green flag is back out. 9 laps to go here in the Daytona 500. Matt McIntyre didn't get off to quite as good of a restart as Jay Jefferson, who's getting pushed by his teammate Scott Groverston as they are working together. Now to the lead they go, and now they want to try and put Patrick Smith and Carson Gum a lap down. But now Scott Groverston going to try and split the gap and go to the bottom and get the lead for himself again. But now the pack is really separated because of perhaps some slower cars or just not very good restarts for some people. I think it might have been because of Stephen Kalan, as it looks like he's off the pace. And he's going to come into pit road, although, wow, Jackson Traeger did a great job of letting off the gas and not running into anybody. Otherwise, that could have been disastrous right there. But it looks like everybody from Scott Groverston on back to Aaron Macklin, Kyle Matthews-ish, so about the top 10 are going to get the battle it out for the win unless they have to come to pit road somehow. But regardless, Scott Groverston currently hanging on to the top spot on the racetrack, although, whoa, Austin LaPlante, oh, he and McIntyre and Rowe have to come to pit road, so maybe some of these other drivers who are up here that did not come to pit road may have to pit again, or may have to come into pit road, so it's definitely making this into a fuel mileage race for sure. Stephen Kalan coming off of pit road. Oh, don't come back up into traffic. Okay, it looks like he's going to be okay for now. Yeah, he should be alright now. Back up at the front, it's now 3 wide. 2 of them battling for the lead. Scott Groverston has it, but Zachary Fitzwater wants the spot, and we're getting ready to come to 6 laps to go, although Groverston and Jefferson now on the pit road. Man, we're seeing a lot of heartbreak go on because of pit stops. So now it looks like the race is going to come down to anybody up here from Zachary Fitzwater on back to Kyle Matthews, but that's only if Matthews can get caught back up to Aaron Macklin, otherwise he's going to lose the pack. Well, the front pack, that is, in which it's only the top 4 that are battling it out. Fitzwater, Dollarton, Garcia, and Macklin, as Carson and Smith are a lap down. Side by side, Chris Dollarton to the inside of Zachary Fitzwater as they are going at it for the race lead. Kyle Matthews definitely lost the draft, but now he's going to get perhaps a little bit of draft help in a new pack with Henry Sanford, Daniel Voiles, Seth Cole, and Jessica Shelton. In fact, 2 of those, Shelton and Sanford, are Matthews' teammates. So that helps for a moment. But it's less than 5 laps to go, and the top 4, along with 2 lap cars, going at it hard for the race lead, as Zachary Fitzwater actually getting a huge push, from Carson Gum to keep the lead. Still side by side between these two, and then the other 2 drivers in contention, Adam Garcia and Aaron Macklin, just aren't willing to work together to try and get up into the top 2 to battle it out for the win themselves. But either way, I feel like if we get a caution at any point now, the race is going to end under caution. So That's the thing with that. Little third group of cars, led by Dylan Jacobs, who's currently running in the 10th position now. And then we got this bigger group from what looks like to be about 17th on back. Whoa, Jesse Turner held up some of the lead lap cars, and now Aaron Macklin, with riding behind Carson Gum, takes the race lead over. But I don't know if that's going to last long, because now we got this small group of 4, maybe to 5 cars that could catch up to the 6 car. Although they are catching up to Matt McIntyre, who's around tail end of the lead lap portion of the track. But man, things are getting interesting, as who knows if Aaron Macklin's going to be able to hold on to the top spot, and if perhaps these 4 of Dollarton, Fitzwater, Garcia, and the lapped car of Smith can work their way up. Although this actually kind of helped the group led by Henry Sanford a little bit, so I don't know, it's going to be a close one for sure. But a little over a 2-second lead for Aaron Macklin, as he now puts Matt McIntyre a lap down. I don't know, I think it might be too far gone unless something really drastic were to occur. Currently, Charles Sanford still has the fastest lap on track to get that bonus point that will be added post-production. Aaron Macklin, all he's got to do is just try and hold off everybody, and he's got this win in the bag. Even though, yeah, there you see Fitzwater and company, they are trying really hard to catch up to the 6. White flag is out in the Daytona 500. The margin right now, less than 2 seconds, 1.8 seconds. They are doing their hardest. They are trying their hardest to catch the 6 of Macklin, but they're going to have to really work together now. 3 out of the 4 kind of getting in line together to try and reel in the 6, but I don't know if it's going to be enough time. As Macklin's actually in a 3-car train with Carson Gum and Matt McIntyre, pretty much picks at this point for himself, and yeah, they're not going to catch him in time. We're getting ready to come off of turn number 4 for the final time. Checkered flag, getting ready to wave. What a huge victory. Upset of the season so far. Aaron Macklin, in his first career start, is going to win the biggest race of all, the Daytona 500. Unbelievable. I had a feeling, because of the amount of rookies in this field, I had a feeling we could have seen a rookie pick up the win here today, and sure enough, it happened. Congratulations to Aaron Macklin and that number 6 Walmart Ford out of Average Joe Enterprises gets his first career win and his first start here at the Daytona 500. But let's look at the rest of the results. Chris Dollarton, who was kind of a quiet runner all race long, even though I believe he was caught a lap down at one point, he somehow, some way made it work and managed to get second, so he came back strong and got a great second place finish. Zachary Fitzwater, who was a front runner towards the end of the race, picks up a great finish in 3rd. Adam Garcia, solid performance in the 4th position, and then Henry Sanford with a great run in the top 5 in the 5th spot. Jessica Sheldon already off to a better start than last season, finishing in the 6th position. Daniel Voiles in his first career start, finishing very well in 7th. Seth Cole continuing momentum from Season 8, finishing in 8th. Ryan Acosta with a solid performance in 9th, and a great run in 10th for Kyle Matthews. Then there's the rest of your top 20, top 30, and then the bottom 5 for this week were Keith Miller Jr., Melissa Alexander, Trey Wright, Jonathan Zorline, and Joey Parkhill. Thank you guys so much for watching Daytona Speedweek, especially the Daytona 500. Now the season is in full swing. Stay tuned on Monday. Race number 2 of the season's coming up, but where's it going to be at? You'll have to wait and find out. But until then, here is the victory burnout for Aaron Macklin, as well as the final results and the point standings going into the next race. Until then, this is Levi McIntyre signing off.